Vivid footage from the ocean will take you on a magical journey of fishermen. From scenes of ships cutting through the waves while pulling in nets, schools of fish pouring onto the deck, to precise underwater harpoon shots, every moment creates an unmissable spectacle. Right now, let's dive into the tops to haul these massive tuna on board. This reduces the risk of harming the fish and also eases the physical strain on the fishermen. Let's head to the bountiful waters of the Azores to explore the high thrill of the high seas chase. Massive marlins hold a special allure for anglers. Catching marlins requires professional fishermen with in-depth knowledge of the species. Their long bills and tough mouths make them notoriously difficult to catch. In many cases, marlins can counterattack with leaps that can injure fishermen. Mackerel fishing sea or flesh of the fish, which is crucial to providing fresh fish to the market or for export. The nets are hauled aboard using modern crane systems. To ensure quality, red snapper are immediately stored in cold storage holds at temperatures between 32 and 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Groupers are amongst the most valuable fish on the planet. Fishing for grouper is an exciting experience, offering countless opportunities but also significant challenges. In the Gulf of Mexico, most grouper species spawn during winter, making spring the perfect time to find large numbers of grouper actively feeding. At the same time, 1 million pounds. South Korea primarily fishes for salmon in the eastern seas and partly in the central Pacific region. Fishermen use methods like purse seines and midwater trawl nets to harvest natural sardines. Purse seines gently encircle schools of fish near the water's surface before being collected, ensuring maximum yield while protecting marine sources. Indonesia's tuna catch ranks amongst the highest in the world year-round, accounting for around. Fishermen use short spears for easy handling on the sea floor and sufficient force to penetrate the thick skin of the halibut. Once struck, the line must be quickly retrieved to prevent the fish from escaping or suffering unnecessary harm. In areas like Canada and Alaska, trawlers drag nets along the seafloor to gather cod. Fishermen must adjust the depth and speed of their vessels to avoid damaging the seabed or catching excessive bycatch. With an output of 725 million pounds, 30 fishing lines extending over 100 feet to reach the halibut's habitat. Additionally, they equip themselves with a smooth hauling system capable of handling these enormous fish. Squid is a staple of the fishing industry on South Korea's eastern coast. Squid jigging rigs are a hallmark of offshore fishing fleets, enabling fishermen squids can live at great ocean depths and grow to enormous sizes. In 2024, the giant squid fishing season in Peru is expected to reach 1.1 billion pounds. At the same time, fishermen must adhere to quotas to ensure sustainable fishing. Fishermen in Norway's fishing grounds set traps year-round. Each Norwegian crab fishing vessel is allowed to deploy up to 9,000 traps. However, fishermen must comply with annuals along the coast between Northwest Cape and Fremantle. On offshore fishing vessels, the primary method for catching snow crabs is deploying crab traps on long lines dropped to the ocean floor. Snow crab production in Western Australia reached around 374 pounds in 2023. The coastal waters of Queensland boast under harsh weather conditions, requiring robust vessels to withstand these challenges. Around 2 to 4 hours after hauling in the nets, shrimp are released into storage holds, and conveyor belts transport them to buffer tanks below the ship's deck. After sorting, the market-grade shrimp are either cooked or frozen on board. December and January are the busiest months in Australia's fishing calendar. It's a continuous battle to catch enough lobsters. People drill holes through the ice to drop baited lines into the water, although fish are less active in winter than compared to summer. They still seek food beneath the ice, creating opportunities for a successful catch. On the coast of Nome, Alaska, fishermen can dive into the water through drilled ice holes. They search for crabs in crevices on the sea floor, where the crabs often gather. Each year, fishermen in Alaska harvest around 50 million pounds of crab. In addition, they use crab traps for fishing. After leaving the traps underwater for several hours, the fish 1,496 pounds, even after drying out on deck for 10 hours. At the current average tuna price in the US, it would have been worth over $86,000 on the market. However, in 2019, a sushi chain in Japan paid $3.1 million for a 613-pound bluefin tuna caught off the coast of northern Japan's Aomori prefecture. This is because freshness is key in valuing a bluefin tuna rather than size. In Japan, fishermen tend to use longline fishing, with about 1.8 miles of baited lines to fish several giant tuna at its nerve tightening. The fish is then thoroughly gutted to further accelerate cooling and prevent contamination, just in case the organs are damaged during transport. Finally, it is instantly frozen at -76 degrees Fahrenheit. This is how hundreds of giant tuna are guaranteed to be fresh for days and months on big longlining fishing boats. The Tsugaru Strait in Japan is renowned for its exceptional bluefin tuna, particularly during the winter months when the waters are teeming with smaller fish. At this time of year, bluefin tuna premium markets can offer up to $22 a pound for top quality merchandise. Recreational fishermen in the US use rod and line method to catch swordfish. Anglers typically troll the live baits or artificial lures for hours, sometimes as long as 6 to 8, before they feel a bite, and that's when the fight begins. With lines capable of handling up to 800 pounds of force, fishermen use heavy-duty rods and reels designed to withstand the strain. While their bill is a prized commodity for anglers, it can also be a deadly weapon, slashing wildly during a long fight. Recently, the fish I'm about to show you can even defeat the top bodybuilders and top NFL players. So of course, no one wants to risk fighting with it alone. This is the Goliath grouper, one of the strongest fish in the ocean, although its maximum record was just 818 pounds and 8.2 feet long. This monster fish inhabits the warmer waters of the Indo-Pacific, especially around the coral reefs of Australia, Indonesia, and parts of the South Sea. anglers lower bait, usually fresh-cut fish or live tuna, down to depths of over 300 feet, where the Goliath grouper hides. Once hooked strength over hours, with a market price reaching up to $100 a pound in 2023, a single Goliath grouper can be worth upwards of $80,000, especially in luxury dining markets across Asia and the US. There are still many unbelievable giant fish catches around the world, but I will talk about them in another video. Now let's check out other giant catches in the sea together. Often found along the chilly depths of the North Pacific, from the coast of Japan to Alaska, the giant Pacific octopus is one of the ocean's most formidable. Similarly, the colossal squid can reach up to 45 feet in length and weigh over 1,000 pounds, comparable to a Harley-Davidson motorcycle in both size and weight. Unlike smaller octopuses or squid though, catching a big size one requires specialized equipment or seasoned divers, who brave the cold, deep, murky waters to spot them. However, based on sperm whale specimens, scientists estimate there are only 4.3 million in Japan, which are three of the largest squid fishing nations in the world. In 2022 alone, China caught a whopping 1 million pounds of squid. Do you prefer to eat squid or octopus? Let me know in the comments below. The Japanese spider crab, with its astonishing leg span of up to 12 feet, wider than the height of a basketball hoop, inhabits the deep waters around Japan and the northern Pacific. It's the largest crab on Earth, making it a prize catch, with live specimens sometimes fetching upwards of $3,000.